I didn't go to court. My dad's gonna have a warrant for his arrest today. I decided to do what I wanted to do. Listen, man. This man went out of his way, alright, to complicate things for me and fuck things up for me, alright? He even turned off the power on a Friday during the winter, right, without giving me a warning, knowing that it would be off for the whole weekend. I couldn't get it turned on until Monday. I had to sleep in this house with no heat, no nothing for 2 days. I was fucking frozen. Good thing I didn't have any animals or kids or anything. It really blew my mind that he would do something like that. And listen, he's losing his memory, but he's not, he isn't completely gone yet. You get what I'm saying? He knows what it is he's doing. For the most part, he's being stubborn. He knows that he's slipping. You know what I'm saying? He sees it. Why am I going to go out of my way to help a man when a person went out of their way to make my life worse? I'm not doing it. He's not even my real father, my biological father, and he kept me, right, in this position my whole life. And then the one time that I do get out of it, the one time that I do feel free in my life because of Jesus and because I've worked really hard for everything that I have, which is more than what he's ever had, he was jealous. He was. And then every time I brought a girl around, my whole life, every time I had a girl, it was like a competition. Like, he would always complain, well, you're too busy with your girlfriend instead of hanging out with me. Like, bitch, what do you think you're doing? You have no plans to hang out with your son or do anything with me. Every time we went on a boat, it was the same thing. That's why I bought a boat separate from him. Because he could never communicate. He would never ever communicate. Just like Silver Lake, right? I broke my transmission, right? I told him I wanted to do an LS swap, get the transmission before I go to Silver Lake. Which I told Margarita that, right? What does he do? I already told Margarita, we're going up north with my dad, right? I don't know when, but it'll be soon. I gotta fix the truck. I gotta do the transmission and swap out the engine, right? What does my fucking dad do? Right after I give him the down payment, help him with the down payment of that truck, right? I'm broke. I have no money. I just saved all my money went to this man. He makes plans to go up to Silver Lake for the weekend, right? Without letting me know the dates and just randomly just spending the money I just gave him for the truck. He had money put up, right? He took part of my money and bought the place without even telling me, right? He used some of his money too, so which was fine. But you didn't tell me, right? Until he already had these reservations for like a month before he even told me. And then he comes up to me and says, oh, we're going to Silver Lake in a week. And I'm like, what do you mean we're going in a week? You didn't tell me this. Oh, I made reservations a month ago. I'm like, what? Why wouldn't you tell me that? I'm like, I don't have enough money to get this truck running right this moment. I just gave you all my money to help you with your truck. Oh, we'll just drive my truck. Dude, I want to drive my own truck. I want to drive separate. You know what I mean? I want to go on the dunes with this. You know what I'm saying? Frustrating, man. Very frustrating. And then the whole time, right? We go up there, he's with his girlfriend, right? I tell him the only reason why he wanted to go to Silver Lake, right, is he got back with this girl, okay? That he hasn't been with for 3 years, all right? He's, in his head, right, he's done this my whole life. In his head, he thinks taking her to Silver Lake is going to make things all perfect, right? And that her and him are going to fall back in love and all this other stuff, right? And spend all this money, right? Go up there. I told him you're going to do this, right? She's not going to stay with you. You're not going to be together for very long. She's going to pull the same shit as she did last time. Sure as shit, that's what she did. She, exactly what she did. She only come around when she wanted money, wanted something from my father. And I told him that, and he was in denial. And I told him, like, I'm done with you, dude. I'm done trying to tell you. I'm done trying to show you how to live. Like, your ears, you won't accept the truth. It was terrible, man. And then when Margarita, you know, she spent so much time into going out of her way to make his woman feel comfortable in him and cook them food, dinners, and all this other stuff, right? And I'm telling her not to do it because I know that's not going to be appreciated. I know, you know, and she's getting upset with me because she's telling me that this is, you know, what I need. I should be doing this. This is why I don't have a family. I'm thinking, like, woman, chill. You have no idea. You know, she found out real quick. She did. She found out how my family is. She didn't like it at all. At all. And it's sad because guess what? Her family's the same fucking way. She hated it. She was so upset. What's funny is the families here are worse than they are down there. There's shit here. American families fucking suck. That's why I won't marry American women. Stupid. They're fucking dumb. Retarded. Not all of them. Most of them. I'm gonna go smoke. It's nice out. My neighbor's getting ready for work. I gotta get this truck pushed up. I gotta get this transmission unbolted. I'm waiting for the police to show up today or some type of, all they're gonna do is come to the house, see who's in the house and stuff. So, that's all that's gonna happen. More than welcome to come in the house. There ain't no damages to the house. I'm about to smoke some wax. I'm waiting for my coffee to get finished, which I don't have any milk. I'm about to walk to that dollar store that actually takes back bottles and take back $2.50 and go get some milk for me and my cat. I'm gonna take 2 naproxen because my fucking foot, that scab, the blister, I had to take a pair of scissors to. I couldn't find a pen to, poke a hole in it. So I had to take a pair of scissors to it and cut it open. It was bad. It was already like starting to. Usually that fluid is clear. That fluid turned yellow, which means it was bad. It hurts. It's funny. I actually had to put these thin socks on because the carpet was actually making it irritating it more than it should be. It hurts. Every time I step it, that's painful. I just do it. I'm dealing with it. What can I do? I can't. I gotta live with the pain until it heals, you know? So, I'm going to do some self-healing. Some marijuana, which, honestly, is great for you. It's probably the healthiest thing you can do. Drug-wise. It's the best for your body, mind. Do I recommend smoking it? No. You're better off eating it because you're doing damage to your lungs. But also eating it doesn't give you a head high either, so you must smoke it. The Indians, man, listen, man, the Israelites, all of them, they had this. You think they didn't smoke hashish? Listen, man, that red wine, that red wine, listen, that red wine that they brought to Jesus had opium in it. Tell me it didn't. People are trying to tell me that Jesus only took red wine. He didn't take anything for pain. Listen, Jesus, not the one that put together that bowl. Jesus is not the one that put that together. You think they didn't put a bunch of poppies floating around in that red wine? Yes, they did. They were trying to get him to ease the pain. Listen, man, his mom seen him on the cross. You think she didn't bring this shit? Yeah, come on, man. They had, listen, you're in the Middle East, you're in Pakistan, you're in Afghanistan, you're in the Middle East, you're in all over there. Guess what? That's where all the poppies grow. You think half the population over there was addicted to heroin, was addicted to poppy. Jesus dealt with that too. Did not? Listen, people who don't understand Jesus, it wasn't as nice as you think. Everybody thinks Jesus was this, he did heal. He did heal. But he wasn't, listen, man, he had to deal with harder criminals. He had to be hard himself. He was toughened himself. You think he didn't talk firm to people or tell people to fucking quit? And if they didn't quit, you think he didn't have to get involved? Of course he did. Of course he did. You know he did. All right. Yeah. So, this was the first paper. 5:31, he was supposed to show up for a Zoom meeting. Today, he's supposed to show up in court because he didn't show up for the Zoom meeting. So, they're going to issue a warrant for his arrest, which means they're going to pick him up. He gets pulled over. He's going to get picked up. They're going to drive him down to Redford. They're going to impound his truck, all that. You know what? Go for it. Impound his truck. Arrest him. He should be responsible coming over here and checking the mail. Can't say I took it. It's here. It's in the home where it was delivered to. So, listen, you don't want to play with me. I'm not the person to play with. You don't want to do it. You'll regret it. I promise you. God sent me here to put everyone in place. I'm telling you. God has me on a mission. I'm here to put everyone in place. That's facts. Don't say nothing stupid on my Facebook. Don't comment nothing stupid. You're gonna regret it. I promise you I'll make you look bad. Promise. That's a God promise. You will regret it. Which, what do you think about taking those bottles back? Because I can get cat food as well at the dollar store. And I left all those Aldi's bottles. I kept that big bag of bottles, the fucking, that black guy gave me, the real bottles. And I got all those bottles, which are real. Think about taking them back, getting her cat food, and getting me some milk. That way I can have milk with my coffee, and I might be able to buy a box of cereal. I checked my Facebook Marketplace, nothing for messages on the trans. So I have to get that apart today. I'm serious, that's what I'm about to do. It's gonna get done today. I have no choice. I've been putting it off. I'm waiting for people to message me before I do the rest of the work. I gotta figure it out today. I have to. Whatever I gotta do. Which is what I'm about to do. So, I'm going to read chapter 9 and 9. God rules on your toes, everybody. He rules from his angel throne. Take notice. God looms majestic in Zion. He towers in splendor over all the big names. Great and terrible your beauty. Let everyone praise you. Holy, yes, holy. Strong king, lover of justice. You laid things out fair and square. You set down the foundations in Jacob. Foundation stones of just and right ways. Honor God, our God. Worship his rule. Holy, yes, holy. Moses and Aaron were his priests. Samuel among those who prayed to him. They prayed to God and he answered them. He spoke from the pillar of cloud, and they did what he said. They kept the law he gave them, and then God, our God, answered them. But he was never soft on their sins. Lift high, God, our God. Worship. He was never. What it's saying, they were never. God was never. God never lets up. If you do wrong, you do wrong. He doesn't. You know what I mean? He forgives. He's merciful. He forgives, but he counts it. He he doesn't. He frowns upon it because he doesn't count it against you when you forgive. And when you forgive, listen. When you believe in Jesus and you forgive others, he doesn't account it against you because you're forgiving others. You understand what I'm saying? He sees Jesus in you because you're working towards being like him. You're making a conscious effort to be more like God every day. That's why he doesn't hold it against you, because he knew that it wasn't you that was doing it in the first place. It was the evil one controlling you. But therefore, if you know, right, you know that it's evil controlling you, and you do believe in Jesus, and you allow it to control you, and you still do wrong, that is the worst sin. That is the most abominable sin, for sure. That's facts. It makes complete sense. And he says, lift high, God, our God, worship at his holy mountain. Holy, yes, holy is God, our God. The holy mountain is here. The holy mountain is your heart. You worship him in spirit and truth. That's the holy mountain. The holy mountain is the problems that you're measuring up against. That mountain that you cannot see. Jesus said, you can move mountains with just faith of a mustard seed. It was an expression. It was a translation of the original expression. It's like that song, I will move, I will cross oceans, I will move mountains just to see you, just to love you, that oldie song. It's what it's saying. He will, once you experience his love and have faith in Jesus, because you see what it is that he is doing every day in your life, and you become more reliant on that every day, more and more and more, and you rest in the palm of God's hands and his sacred word and promises. You experience his love, and you see it. You see his power. He will show his power to anyone that is willing to open their heart, because it's not this that they're seeing with, it's this. People are sick. You gotta confess your sins. You must confess your guilty conscience, the things that everyone has done to you, and everything you have done. That's why I don't have anyone in my life anymore, because I'm tired of carrying their guilty conscience. You understand what I'm saying? You carry other people's guilty conscience. Therefore, if you have family like my two older brothers' father, right, that dragged me from woman to woman my whole life, right? I'm 33. I'm a grown man. I shouldn't be living with my father. I consider him my real father. This is why I say so. He dragged me, right? I felt like I should be with him. Therefore, he dragged me down. He kept me down. Not only did I carry the weight of my own conscience, I had to carry the weight of his guilty conscience. For instance, I told him told him to go see his mom, that his mom was losing his memory. She's not going to remember him. He's going to regret it. I don't want to deal with my brothers. I know the address, but I don't know if I can see her. He come up with all these excuses not to see her, right? Finally, my oldest brother took him to go because he got sick of it as well. They both went. It was too late. She didn't remember anything. Didn't remember them or anything. So it hurt them. And what's funny, those are the two that stuck up for her the most. You know what I mean? They were the closest to her. And all because the two older brothers, my dad's two older brothers, they have all this money, took control of my grandmother's assets because of my stupid brother. Because one of my stupid brothers, she's took care of him his whole life. He's never worked. And they were afraid that she was going to give all her money, all that stuff, in the will, and he was going to, fuck everything up, get her to change it or take all her money type shit, which he would have. That's the fucked up thing. He would have. No problem. He would have fucked her over so quick. He already has many times. And she still loved him and didn't care. You know what I mean? Just continued to feed into it and give him more money and more money. And that's also why they also took the boat. The boat that my dad had. My dad couldn't afford to put the boat in his name. He needed, by himself, he needed a co-signer. So my grandma co-signed on it, right? so he could get it. Well, this boat only had $5,000 left owed on it, which pisses me off because I help my dad. I've given him money. I've gotten jobs to help provide money to help pay that boat off. My dad never missed a single goddamn payment. That's what pissed me off even more. That's why I should have went to that courthouse, but I can't do it. He fucked me over. He's got to learn his lesson. That's the only way he's gonna learn. Take responsibility for your own actions. My name is not on that paperwork. It's not my business to go up there. I'm not putting my name. I'm not dealing with them. I'm not dealing with them. So listen, as soon as I go in a courtroom, I'm associating myself with this property, right? That that owner, right, can try to sue me for property saying that I did so, right? And now the judge has proof of me being there. I'm literally saying in words, I live in this home on record, right? Well, you gotta watch what you say. You gotta watch what you do. I'm not going in there and incriminating myself for anything. I have no idea what this judge might say, what this lady might say, these other people might say. Who knows will show up, at this court date. For all I know, my dad could know the court date and be there. Who knows? They don't talk to me. And what's fucking even more crazy is I decided to try to see my little brothers before I left for Florida because I haven't talked to them or seen them in months. I mean, it's been a while now. A long time. That apartment that they were staying in, it was cheap. It was only like $250 a month, man. It was one of those like efficiency places, but it was a real nice apartment actually. It had 2 bedrooms. It had 2 bedrooms, bathroom. It was legit. I would have stayed there. I would have lived there. You have to deal with the worst of the worst people, but I mean, that ain't nothing. That's just people. Come on, man. Been around the world. I've been in prison. Worst of the worst. So that's not the issue. It's, dude, listen, I make too much money too. That's the issue for me. But they lived there and they lived there for years. It's been a long time. They were there for like 5 years. I'm surprised it lasted that long. Like, they held it together that long they wrote it. You know what I'm saying? They wrote it. They wrote it as long as they could. And I really believe because, you got to go through the state and stuff and everything. And you got to wait for money to come through and all that stuff. And that stuff takes time, which that place knows that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know the whole situation. I never talked to them. I've never been in those situations. I never rode those situations. So, I never played that role that I know so many people do, which that's why I kind of want to talk about it. You got to watch people, man. They play that role. Like that guy, right, for instance, fucking yesterday in the video when I was at the gas station, I'm wearing military stuff, camo. Not really military stuff, but I'm wearing camo. Just because I'm wearing camo, they're already thinking I'm a military person, and in his mind, he's thinking he can get something from me, so he acted, he put on a show. People can be whatever they want to be, it's sad, to watch this, and people play that part, they play that role, they know they can get away with it, and they play the system, and what's crazy is the system wants you to be that way. The government wants you to be that way. If you go into those places, right? I can go into those places right now, right? And say, I think I need help, right? It's not that I need help with depression, right? I think I have depression because I'm dealing with all these problems that the evil one has against me, like not having a car or a house or not being able or having a girlfriend, thinking I have to have a person to be happy in my life, or my family, or all those other things, right? And you go in there, right, and tell them you want to just talk, you know what I mean? You don't need medications. I bet you 9 out of 10 times they're going to tell you, well, I can't help you. That's what they say. They all say that. They say, well, I can't help you. Because they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to sit there and talk to you. All they want to do is give you medication. they'll sit there, right? And they'll sit there, well, I can't help you unless you take this medication. You sign this paperwork because we got to be able to dispense you this medication, blah, blah, blah. And they get into all these terms that people, half these people that are going in there, they don't even understand half this stuff. They've never played, they don't know anything. Listen, the government is using these people to test these things. These people are trained in doing so. They don't even know what it is they're doing until they get caught up in it. And then they're relying on it. That's their money. That's the way they feed their family. They don't change. Listen, don't sign that paperwork, man. I have it. I've been waiting. I just got classified off. They just kicked me off. You got to wait so many days to get off. I've been waiting for it. So they can't do anything to me. State-wise, it was for proof. I'll show you guys when I start making the videos and stuff. I'm going to show you how they do this. They get you to believe that that you're stupid, that you must rely on them. That's what they want. Then they get you put on these medications, and then they get you hooked on them and relying on them, and then they test you. You think all these, listen, man, a lot of that stuff, they only know partly what it does. They're experimenting, just like, they know what it does. They know, but they don't know everything. They don't know the spiritual side of it. You'll never be able to explain the spiritual side. That's why it's called love. God is love. You'll never be able to, that's what they're trying to do. They're playing God. All these medical things, most of them. Not all of them. But when you start getting into like cloning people and animals, which is, South Korea is the cloning capital of the world. They clone the most dogs, animals. They've been searching for the woolly mammoth. They're trying to bring the woolly mammoth back, and they've been taking, they've been finding DNA from woolly mammoths that have been frozen in Russia. They bring them back still frozen, look for specimens they can use, and they've been artificially inseminating them in elephants because elephants are very close to the woolly mammoth in DNA structure, and the woman is able to be a surrogate mother. So, listen, if they do that with animals, you think they can't do it with humans? And just because it's not right to do it with humans, or it's not ethically correct to do it, you think that they're not? Come on. That's the evil behind it. You know what I'm saying? It's not the science that's evil, the exploration. It's the ethics behind what it is they're doing. So you gotta be careful, man. You gotta watch who you stay around and stuff, man. And you gotta remember too, we all at the bottom fight. Someone is prophetically speaking on their Facebook, and I don't even know if they know that they're prophetically speaking. That's why I'm doing this as well. That's a gift of mine. He said, I posted it. He said that everyone at the bottom is bickering and fighting. Everyone at the top is collaborating. Put that in perspective. Now you got to remember, not everyone at the top, right, that have money is got it from Jesus. It's been earned evil through the evil way. If they don't have Jesus in their life, they're evil. Jesus said, period, if you're not with me, you're against me. Therefore, if you believe in anything else but Jesus, you're evil. Because you have a conscience to do evil. You have a conscience to do wrong. You have a conscience to fuck people over and do whatever it is to get whatever you need. Now, remember that a plant, a flower, a tree, will take over another tree just to get to the light. Remember that. They're bad people just trying to get to the light, which is Jesus. They will fuck you over just to get to Jesus because they don't know any better. Remember that. Take care. God bless you. I'll see you guys soon.